Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
Well, with Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
I say, Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo.
Yes. Terence win.
The boxing world is abuzz with predictions as Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford prepare for a mega showdown. Boxing legends and analysts are divided on how the fight will unfold. Some believe Crawford's skills give him a legitimate shot at victory, while others argue that Canelo's size and power will be too much for Crawford to handle. Legendary boxer Mike Tyson has expressed disapproval of the matchup, citing Crawford's struggles against the larger, awkward Israel Madrimov. Tyson suggests that fighting Alvarez at 168 pounds could be a risky move for Crawford, given the size disadvantage he would face.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight. You know, and he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, but this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky jerky.
David Benavidez has an interesting perspective on the fight, believing Terence Crawford has a real chance of winning. He wouldn't be shocked if Crawford pulled off an upset, citing Crawford's skills, mindset, and work ethic as key factors in potentially defeating Canelo Alvarez.
Looks like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question.
Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's like, you know.
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting.
However, Benavidez admits he doesn't really want this fight to happen. He acknowledges that Canelo is the money fight and everyone wants a shot at him. But he personally disagrees with Crawford moving up so much in weight for this matchup.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you, but it will be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else am I gonna say? You know what I mean? This was a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, you know, I set my conquest at 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But you know, I see that weight class. You know, I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Alexander Usyk, a master technician himself, views the fight as a clash between size and skill. He recognizes that Canelo is naturally the bigger fighter, which will be a factor. However, Usyk places his faith in skill over size, believing Crawford's sharpness and technical ability will give him the advantage. According to Usyk, skills win fights, and in his view, Crawford is the superior boxer.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford. How do you see that fight?
I like Terence. It's my friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo.
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence is different man. Terence work in two sides. Two sides.
Right. And
right.
switch hitter.
Yes.
He's a switch hitter.
Yes. Right and left. But it's very smart man. very, very, very smart, but feel distance and place.
Adjustments,
Spacing,
exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking exactly.
Canelo big, yeah, Canelo too. It's good boxer, but I say Terence.
Wow.
Roy Jones Jr., another boxing legend, has shared his prediction for the fight, seeing two possible outcomes. He believes that if Canelo enters the fight in top shape and performs to his potential, he will win. However, if Canelo isn't at his best, Terence Crawford will capitalize on the opportunity and secure the victory. For Jones Jr., the outcome hinges entirely on which version of Canelo Alvarez shows up on the night of the fight.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him. Prove he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight better beat this nigga. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win.
Sean Porter, who has faced Terence Crawford in the ring, has some concerns about this matchup. While he acknowledges Crawford's toughness and resilience, he questions whether Crawford will be able to absorb Canelo's power. Porter knows firsthand how physically strong Crawford is, but facing a fighter like Canelo, who has knocked out bigger opponents, could pose a different challenge. He believes that while Crawford has exceptional defensive skills, taking punches from someone as powerful as Canelo could prove to be a serious test.
Others say no, that's 2 more weight classes. Once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another. You know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out. You know what I mean? So
former champion Caleb Plant believes Terence Crawford's strength and unique boxing style make him dangerous in any fight. While he acknowledges the weight difference, Plant highlights Crawford's ability to adapt. He thinks Crawford's boxing IQ and strategic approach could be crucial, making the fight more competitive than many expect. Plant sees Crawford's versatility as a key factor in the matchup against Canelo.
I think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
Canelo versus Jamel Charlo playing out.
I think Canelo just outboxes. Well, no, doesn't outbox him, but I think just outpowers him and beats him to the punch. And you do give Canelo does have some sort of decent speed as well. So I think Canelo just wins that fight easy.
Could be a knockout.
Could be, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Teofimo Lopez isn't giving Crawford much of a chance in this fight. He believes Canelo is too big, strong, and experienced at higher weights. Lopez thinks that at some point, Canelo will land a powerful shot that will end the fight by knockout, making it difficult for Crawford to win.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it though. So that's why I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and be able to find out firsthand.
Ryan Garcia shares a similar view to Teofimo Lopez, believing Canelo's size and strength will be too much for Crawford. While he respects Crawford's skills, Garcia feels Crawford lacks the physicality needed to handle a fighter like Canelo at 168 bolts, making it a tough matchup.
What round does Crawford get knocked out? I'm gonna put 8. Let's put it on the universe. So I'm gonna put it on 8. 8. And if it goes the other way, I 8. I 8. So yeah, Ryan, Joe, and Eddie Reynoso also. That'll be cool, man. We all get work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have our own underground boxing, me and Ryan, before we fight.
Veteran trainer Joe Diaz is clear in his assessment, stating that he doesn't believe Terence Crawford has any chance of beating Canelo. While acknowledging Crawford's greatness, Diaz feels Crawford's arsenal lacks the tools to trouble Canelo in this matchup. He believes the size difference and Canelo's power will be too overwhelming for Crawford to overcome.
That's going to be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Right? He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh yeah,
the winners would fight each other.
I didn't know that, but I'm down. I don't care. Let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
Also, I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's a lot of sanctioning bodies. There's a lot of promoters. There should be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about that?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like why can't I use another organization? But again, I don't want to talk about them because it might.
Eddie Hearn has reservations about the fight, acknowledging Crawford's elite skills. However, he points out that the weight gap is too significant. Hearn also argues that if Canelo defeats Crawford at 168 bolts, he shouldn't receive much credit, as Crawford is a naturally smaller fighter who began his career at 140 bolts.
I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat.
Conor Benn offers a more balanced perspective, believing both fighters have an equal chance of winning. He views it as a true 50-50s fight where anything can happen. While many favor Canelo due to his size, Ben thinks Crawford's skills and ring intelligence could make it a highly competitive and even contest.
But Crawford's brilliant. Like he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Shaka Stevenson is fully backing Terence Crawford, believing that skills are the deciding factor. He views Crawford as the more skilled fighter and dismisses concerns about his size, arguing that Crawford is bigger and stronger than many people think, giving him a real chance against Canelo.
With Crawford going up, I believe he can put a beating on anybody 154, 160. 168. Nah, Benavidez is. Canelo. I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a fighter who just relies on his power. And then Canelo, when he's fought Belenga, then fought Ryder, Munguia, It's even. I think it'd be a 50-50 fight if Crawford fought Canelo.
Jeff Mayweather respects Terence Crawford's skills, believing he's the better fighter technically. However, he cautions that you can't take Canelo lightly, acknowledging his power and experience in the ring.
I think skills pay the bills. Yeah. And I feel like, truthfully, he's not as little as people think. Like, people think he's like very small.
He cut weight to get 147, 154.
Yes. Yeah. He's not as small as like people think. It's just he look like it. Yeah. So like if you see him in
person
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day, he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight Terence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo though. I've been saying, I remember when he fought when they fought, go watch an interview after the fight. I literally said, I think Terence Crawford will beat Canelo.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, long time ago. Yeah. Okay.
I did tell him after the Smith fight, I said, man, go get Canelo. You the greatest.
Yeah.
That's era.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no question.
No question, yes.
Actually, back to the you and Terence working together, because you've shared everything you've learned from him. There was fans doing their homework in the Avanesian fight and in the Spence fight saying, actually, it looks like Terence may have taken a couple things from Shakur as well, not just Shakur taking things from Terence.
Trainer Stephen Bradman Edwards believes Terence Crawford can defeat Canelo Alvarez by using his superior mobility, reach, and stamina. He emphasizes that Crawford's ability to fight effectively while moving, along with his mental resilience, will be key in overcoming Canelo's pressure.
It's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win, and take advantage of Canelo's mistakes.
Yeah, so we have, it's an almost kind of a battle of, we have two guys, obviously the best, two of the best 3 or 4 boxers in the sport, regardless of weight class, but, which one is closer to the version of their prime, right? They're both getting older. I mean, they're both still, very, very good at this point, but, do you think maybe one of them it's time for them to start falling off, and that might be the difference in this fight, that one starts to trail off a little bit?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, both guys are aging, and you never know. You never know when they're going to show their age. So it could be either one of them that does that. But I mean, I just lean to a Crawford because I just see dude has so many skills, and I mean, I just see that him possibly winning the fight by decision.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas is confidently picking Terence Crawford to win. He believes Crawford is simply too good, smart, and well prepared. Atlas emphasizes that Crawford's ability to adjust and his exceptional ring IQ will lead him to victory. For Atlas, it's not about size, it's about skill, and he's convinced Crawford has what it takes to win.
He slips, he's really good. But Crawford is just so clutch. His conditioning is so good. They're going to be about similar heights. Crawford's a little taller, he's longer. And I think that Crawford's adjustments in fights are so underrated. He is a master adjuster. He finds something in every fight and just goes with it. That last fight, people talk about he struggled. You know what he found that last fight? A simple jab. He just started beating the guy up with a jab. He finds something in every fight. And he don't fight a lazy fight.
Sports analyst Ariel Helwani discussed the upcoming fight, raising an interesting point about Canelo's age and whether his legs are still as strong as they once were. Meanwhile, he noted that Crawford is a skilled switch hitter who looked impressive in his first fight at 154 lots. Helwani believes Crawford is becoming more comfortable at a higher weight and has been preparing for a challenge like this for a long time. He thinks Crawford's high boxing IQ could make the fight much more competitive, potentially giving him an edge against the aging Canelo.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Matvedorf, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Matvedorf was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't.
Crawford, switch hitter. He did all right in his first fight at 54, but now he'll get more comfortable as a bigger guy. He's actually not that small, this, that, and the other. Yesterday on my program, I spoke to David Benavidez, and I asked him about this fight, and his response surprised me. I want to play this clip for you and get your response to David's answer. Here it is.
It's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him a 7 out of a 10.
Oh wow, that high! I thought you were going to say 25.
Crawford is good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time. And Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So
that's all for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.